professional chefs from across the UK are battling it out
I'm not here to mess around.
to earn the chance to cook at the prestigious Great British Menu Banquet,
No pressure.
which this year celebrates the very best British inventions. The chefs must create innovative dishes which not only taste delicious, but capture the theme too.
Wowza.
It's the ultimate test of ingenuity and skill.
I like that.
Previous celebrated Great British Menu winners, returning as veteran judges, score the regional rounds.
God, this is a hug and a glass, isn't it?
The pressure is on as at the end of each day, one chef will be eliminated.
Not much you can say.
We're at the halfway mark and 3 of Central Region's most talented chefs are fighting to get their dishes to the Great British Menu Banquet.
It's either going to be good or bad. Nowhere in between.
Yesterday, it was sadly game over for Shannon Johnson,
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm very good, very on time.
who ended the day in last place,
Somebody's gotta go home.
leaving newcomers Liam Dillon and Stuart Collins.
Plain sailing, Stuart? No, not at all. It's close.
Returner Sabrina Gidder is hoping it's third time lucky.
Oh, pressure's on for myself, really.
The rivals felt extra pressure when one of the most influential chefs in Britain and holder of an incredible 4 Michelin stars, Simon Rogan,
Oh, lordy.
turned up to help the veteran Lisa Goodwin-Allen judge the fish course.
I thought it was a little bit one-dimensional. You would need this link to be a little bit stronger.
But as the chefs will discover,
Come on.
Oh, no.
cooking the next 2 courses
If they're knackered, I'm going home. Come on.
is far from straightforward.
Yeah.
The 3 chefs for Central Region must now compete over mains and desserts. Stuart is in the lead on 17 points and Sabrina and Liam are both tied on 15. It is literally anybody's game. This week's veteran is no stranger to the Great British Menu kitchen. Taking her starter all the way to the 2010 banquet, she also stood head and shoulders above her contemporaries in last year's Great British Christmas menu. It's Lisa Goodwin-Allen who'll decide which 2 chefs cook for the judges.
I've got a hard job today.
Yes.
Exciting job,
Yeah,
but a hard job. I can feel the ante building up. I love
Good.
it.
Yes!
I love it.
Sabrina's ambitious main course is inspired by HP sauce, a Central Region innovation, created in Nottingham and manufactured in Birmingham, just up the road from her family home in Wolverhampton. Hello, Sabrina.
Hello.
What is the title of your dish and what story will you be telling us today?
So the name of the dish is Everything Goes with Brown Sauce.
Right.
And it is a double tribute to the factory that stood in Aston in Birmingham, so locally producing HP sauce, and also to my late grandmother who back in the 60s couldn't get hold of tamarind, so she used to use HP sauce in her chutneys instead.
Bringing the tamarind through the HP, I like
Oh,
that.
interesting. So in your dish, we should be able to taste the brown sauce or not?
Yes, chef. There's got to be an element of sort of elegance with the way it's handled here,
Yeah.
so it's not going to be sort of served on the side. But everywhere that I would ordinarily use tamarind to create tang, I'm
using it as a substitute.
100%.
Okay,
So,
clever. Oh, you've got a lovely array of things. I must say that there's a lot of spice there.
yes, chef.
So the layering of that is really important.
Yeah.
So
yes.
what are you pairing all this lovely spice with?
We're going to do a masala tenderloin of pork.
Quite a hard piece of meat to cook because it can dry out quite easily.
It is, so that's got a nice marinade through it. And then I'm going to make a classic faggot wrapped in crepinette, so that will keep it nice and moist.
Stuart, how does it sound to you?
Really exciting. Loads of flavours going on in there. Great techniques, bring the classic into the modern, and really exciting to see how this comes off. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you.
I love brown sauce, but you've got to be so careful with it. It's very powerful. For me, that pork is the standout. It's got to be cooked perfectly, and the spice has just got to come together in harmony.
Stuart's main course is inspired by Central Region's John Spilsbury from Worcestershire.
So the title of the dish is Dissected Maps, and it's inspired by John Spilsbury, who created the first jigsaw. So I'm taking that inspiration, and making my own jigsaw.
So tell me about a little bit about these ingredients here.
So we've got
What have you
amazing rose veal reared in Uttoxeter in Staffordshire. So it'll be cooked in a water bath and pan roasted.
And this is the shin?
Yeah,
What are you doing with
so
this?
2 parts. So we've got the prime cut, the fillet,
Yep.
and then the shin I'm going to use to make the sauce in a pressure cooker.
You like this pressure cooker,
I
don't
love it. I think we're best friends, so touch wood, it works again.
you? Purple potatoes, violet potatoes?
Amazing. So these are grown like 15 minutes from my restaurant.
Ah, OK. And what's this on the end? Is it just a neutral?
So this is beef fat. So there's going to
okay.
be some toasted crumb. And then we've got a local beer, which is going to make an onion and beer puree. So allowing the ingredients to sing. There isn't a lot. There's nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide, I was going to say that. Do you think you're playing it safe when you look at Sabrina's magic box of spices?
I mean, I didn't know what she was bringing, but it's this dish is really important to me because it's all local produce. You'll see when it's plated, it really brings it home.
Sounds like you're cooking with all your heart and soul. Lots of luck, Chef. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I'll let you get cracking.
Thank you.
Stuart's main, he's gone very brave. He's using minimal ingredients and concentrating on the quality and his cooking techniques. He needs to really pull it off today.
Liam's at the bottom of the scoreboard, but he's confident his venison will help him up his game. He's celebrating the work of chemistry scholar Dorothy Crowfoot Hodgkin, who used X-rays and crystals to analyse molecular structure.
She won a Nobel Prize.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, amazing woman, amazing research.
So tell me what you're doing with the venison.
So we've got a venison Wellington, we've got a faggot ball, we have heart pastrami, so we're using as much as possible from the venison.
And what are you doing with the artichokes?
The artichokes can be done in 3 different ways.
Yep.
So baked on salt, it's almost like a little jacket potato. There'll be a very crisp white artichoke puree, and then I'm going to make an artichoke champ as well.
And what have you got hiding back here? Gin?
Oh, that's for me.
Are you feeling it today?
Yeah, I'm feeling it today,
You're
Chef.
feeling it today.
Very much so. Yeah, Sabrina and I are tied on points, so it's a big one, yeah.
Is there any worries about doing a Wellington? Because obviously a different oven, you've never used it before.
Yeah, I'm bricking it.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's that iconic saying, is that go hard or go home, so...
I like that.
yeah,
I really like that.
Sabrina, do you like the sound of this dish?
I'm really excited. Not just because you said gin.
There is that,
because it's making me feel really proud how everyone's repping the region with so much passion.
I'm super excited about tasting your dishes, so let's get cracking, and I'll see you on the other side.
Chef.
Cheers, Chef.
I think every chef is gunning in the main course. It's the one they want to get to the banquet. For me, it has to be spectacular, precise, delicious, and really sing of the brief.
Inspired by her grandmother's use of the famous Birmingham-produced brown sauce, Sabrina's cooking from the heart.
It really does mean everything. If there was one dish I was cooking that really was me, then this is absolutely it. The heart and soul of the dish is that coconut and tomato masala sauce.
Any mistakes with the sauce and she knows she could be going home.
It's really important that I get it right.
She adds garlic, ginger and green chilli paste to her sauce base.
A bit sparing to begin with.
And then more spices.
Turmeric, chili powder, coriander, cumin, black cumin also. There's just magic in spicing, isn't there?
For the kofta, she minces pork offal, bacon fat and pork neck meat. Then the magic ingredient, brown sauce.
When it's breakfast time, is it red sauce or brown sauce?
Bacon red, sausage brown, though.
I'll have to agree with Stuart on that one.
What?
She's enjoying herself,
It's a little bit special, that.
but she has lots to remember.
The thing I've got here is about 9,000 garnishes.
She adds cream to her spiced butternut squash puree for a silky smooth texture.
Yes.
Right, nice.
Stuart hopes his nod to a Worcestershire man's invention of the jigsaw puzzle will keep him ahead of the pack.
They're going to be good or bad. Nowhere in between.
First, he seals the veal shin,
Looking good.
caramelising and blackening onions on the plancha before he gets it all in the pressure cooker.
So, pressure cooker again, Stuart.
Yeah, no, I've come to like it. Lid on.
Stuart makes a start on his beer and onion puree.
Pan's nice and warm.
Once the onions are caramelised, he adds red wine vinegar, Worcester sauce, brown sugar and a local beer.
That's going to boil up and then reduce it all the way down. blend it into a nice, rich, smooth puree. Right, lovely.
Stuart next preps his veal.
Amazing veal fillet.
He rolls it ready for cooking in the water bath.
So, make that lovely cylindrical shape, and this is how it's going to cook. So it will set the shape.
How's it going, Stuart?
It's coming together.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you seem really cool and calm.
I try. The swan theory.
Paddling underneath.
Yeah. But no, it's all going to plan so far. So the beer and onion puree just come out of the blender and then blend it. Yeah, of course.
Happy with it?
I think it needs a little bit more seasoning.
Well, you've scored extremely well in your other 2 dishes. Let's hope it carries on in this one.
Indeed. Thank you.
See you later. Stuart's beer and onion puree was delicious. You could taste the beer and the onions, and it had that slight acidity pop from the vinegar that he puts in there. He did say, I'm going to season it a bit more. That worries me because it doesn't need any more seasoning.
Liam's main is a tribute to the chemist Dorothy Crowfoot Hodgkin. She's still the only British woman to win the Nobel Prize in Science. Liam's cooking local venison for his Wellington. First, he marinates it in red wine and aromats.
Venison off Cannock Chase.
Yeah, you can't get much more local than that. I'm sure you know Cannock Chase yourself.
He uses the trimming for venison sauce and starts on his artichoke 3 ways. First up, salt baking on moss.
Cover that in tin foil and just whack it in the oven, just roast it for an hour.
He preps the rest of his artichoke puree and champ, a flavoured mashed potato.
At the start of the competition, my goal was to do my whole menu. Now my goal is to get to the judges and get to the banquet.
Yeah, much the same.
All 3 of these dishes sound exciting, but what are you going to be looking for?
Well, Sabrina, she's using quite humble ingredients to her background. It's like second nature, spicing.
Yeah.
But how's she going to elevate it? How's she going to make it refined?
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing. Stuart, he's got nowhere to hide. He's using minimal ingredients. He's relying on quality and he's relying on his cooking techniques. He's got to pull it out of the bag. Liam seems a little bit terrified for me. He's feeling the worry and the angst, and you can see that in him. He's got to use that as fuel to ignite, to push further. And cooking a Wellington is a tricky thing.
Having marinated her pork tenderloin with spices, Sabrina cooks it in a water bath, returning to the masala sauce, and it's time for more brown sauce.
This is the tamarind element, so another one of those magic ingredients.
Next, she prepares her shallot pickle. Olive oil, lime juice, and some generous pinches of pomegranate and mango powder.
Well, Sabrina, how's it going?
Chef, I'm enjoying it, and I really hope it's going to show in what I plate for you.
And what have you got going on over here?
This is the coconut curry sauce that will accompany the dish.
Ah, OK.
And it's a touch of the magic ingredient.
Can I try a bit?
Please do. I'm going to say.
To be honest, I thought it was delicious. I really like kind of the level of the spicing in it, but the real star of the show is the pork. She's got to remember that.
With beef fat breadcrumbs prepared,
Yeah, boy.
Stuart makes a start on his veal glaze.
No drama, baby llama.
But he's starting to feel the pressure.
If I make a sharp exit for the car park, it's because this didn't work.
It's make or break.
Boom, I'll take that. So the veal's given up its flavour. It's good.
With still lots to do, Liam keeps an eye on the clock.
Got to make sure the time doesn't run away with me.
Well, Liam, how's it going?
Yep, not bad, thank you.
No worries?
Wellington being cooked correctly is my biggest fear. Yeah, I've got an idea of timings, but leave with the gods. The Wellington gods.
And what have you got here?
So this is the artichoke champ.
And the texture's going to be the same, you're not crushing it or anything?
No, I'm going to leave it like that.
OK, well, I'll let you get on.
All right, thank you very much.
Liam's champ was interesting. You know, he seasoned it with buttermilk, was giving it a great acidity, and I really liked it. But I'm intrigued to see how he's going to make it compare and fit with the dish.
He wraps the venison with mushroomed excel, ready for his pastry.
So this guy's going on here.
All seems to be going well.
Oh, yeah. Forgot to see all the venison.
How's your Wellingtons looking, Liam?
Little bit of schoolboy error. Started to roll it without sealing it. Rather remember now than later on. But yeah, I've got to shit my arse now.
Sabrina's first to serve her dish. Celebrating a famous brown sauce invented in the Midlands, she's hoping the sauce will replicate the taste of tamarind in her spicy dish.
Come on.
She pan roasts her pork tenderloin and coats her koftas with brown sauce, adding pickled shallots.
5 minutes to the pass, Sabrina.
Oui, chef.
You happy with the cooking on the pork, Sabrina?
I am, chef. It's mega.
Nice, nice.
Spiced butternut squash is plated first, followed by pork kofta and pork tenderloin.
3 minutes to the pass.
Yes, chef.
Next, potato chat, crispy curry leaves, and pomegranate and tomato salad.
I think it looks amazing. Really vibrant.
Pork crackling with masala chat, and finally a garnish of coriander cress.
Right. Is that a first? I'm actually on time.
The masala sauce is served in a bottle on the side.
Name of the dish is Everything Goes with Brown Sauce, and it's tribute to the amazing factory in Aston producing HP sauce and my wonderful, wonderful late grandmother.
Do I like brown sauce?
Oh, God, I didn't ask, chef. Do you like brown sauce?
I'll tell you later on.
Well, I can't wait to get stuck in. Shall I give you some of this, chef?
Thank you. Thank
I got a
you
whole
so
one to
much.
myself.
Yeah, you've got a whole one. Look
Wow.
at you.
Lucky boy.
The cooking of the pork, is that what you were going for?
It is, chef. I wanted it to be cooked through. So for me, that's how I like to have the tenderloin.
What do you think, Stuart?
I like it. It's still slightly pink, which is great, but with the spices around it, almost feels a little dry. I
On
think.
the outside, the spices on the outside.
Cooking pork's very tricky. She's done very well. It's, yeah, really nicely cooked.
And the balance and the level of the sauce, you're happy with?
I am. I think it's fiery. You can taste the sweetness of the tamarind that's come through from the sauce. And I think I've got the spicing spot on. This is Punjabi cooking for me.
Can you taste the brown sauce in the masala sauce?
Not much.
For me, I think you get it.
What do you feel about the level of heat?
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of on my threshold.
Totally agree. I think the spice level's good. The other flavours still come through. It's a really strong dish.
Is there anything that you would change about the dish?
In this instance, chef, I'm going to say no. And the only reason I'm going to say no is because I put absolutely everything into that. So I'm really happy with it.
OK, scores, please. Liam.
For me, 9.
Stuart.
Good solid 9. Really, really good.
You both worried?
A little bit.
What would you give it?
I really would give it a 10 because it means everything to me. Alrighty, chaps.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
Yeah, good.
Happy?
Good. I was, yeah, very happy.
Next to plate is Stuart. He may have been swan-like earlier, but now he's paddling like mad.
Come on.
He seasons his veal fillet. Then pan roasting in foaming butter and thyme before resting and glazing.
Brushed with the veal glaze.
The violet potatoes finished with butter, parsley and preserved shallots are plated first.
Gonna be like a family serve kind of vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look. Ooh.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
The purple sprouting broccoli with beef breadcrumbs is next.
Yeah.
3 minutes, Stuart.
Yes, chef.
Finally, it's the veal fillet.
Looks stunning, shirt.
Oh, it just looks amazing, chef.
Ready?
Ready?
Stuart presents his dish on a jigsaw platter with his veal sauce on the side.
So the name of the dish is Dissected Maps, and it is inspired by John Spilsbury, who created the first jigsaw, which was a map of the world. And this is a map of the central regions, and it's showcasing where each of the ingredients are from.
It's definitely a map, isn't it?
I wouldn't follow it, you might get it.
That's for a try.
I mean,
Oof.
that is just...
Eat every time, look at that.
Straight in for the veal, I think.
Straight into the veal.
So the hero of the dish, the veal, you happy with the cooking?
Yeah, I think it's lovely and pink. A nice roast on the outside to bring that caramelised flavour.
What do you think of the veal?
Cooked perfectly. I already know now there's nothing on this plate I'm not gonna like.
so true.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's very simple.
But it's excellent.
So the flavour on the shin sauce, you think it marries well with the dish?
I think so. I think it's a good, strong veal flavour. coming out of the shin. It's lovely, glossy and rich sauce, so that matches up with the onion puree.
I just had the sauce.
The sauce is so rich, it's so silky. It's got so much flavour in it. I think it's knockout.
The confit shallots finished the sauce. I want some more.
Yeah, me too.
And the puree, the consistency and the balance of seasoning in there is what you wanted to achieve?
Yeah, I think you get the sweetness from the caramelisation of the onion. It's like a nice little condiment on the dish.
Oh, I'm not really into ale, but this, this is a serious vibe. I just love the tang it brings, and when you have it with a potato, it's just making me really happy.
So how would you score this, Liam?
Definitely a 10.
It's a 10 because it's just delicious.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a 7. I stand behind it. I'm just a bit nervous having seen what the other guys have done. I like the dish, but it is risky. Hey guys.
Yes, yes, yes. Big spud for that one. You happy?
I don't know. You know, your dish is like amazing. You've got Wellington.
Don't bring me into it. I'm nowhere near yet.
Before plating, Liam rests the venison Wellington, praying for no soggy bottoms. Then he pan roasts his faggots.
How are you feeling about this?
Another faggot ball. Everyone has their own take on what they want to put in there. Everyone has their own recipe. So I have to see how this comes out, Stuart.
He gets them in the oven before he plates.
4 minutes to the pass, Liam.
Yes, chef?
First on the plate, the artichoke champ, followed by pickle and the salt-baked artichoke. You happy with everything?
Let's carve this venison and then I'll let you know.
Are the Wellington gods smiling on Liam?
OK, 1 minute left to the pass.
Yes, chef?
The moment of truth.
It's not terrible.
You're due at the pass now, Liam.
Yep, 30 seconds, please, chef.
The venison and faggots are plated with venison sauce on the side.
OK, Liam, are you coming up now?
Yes, chef.
Finally, Liam presents his tribute to Dorothy Crowfoot Hodgkin and her pioneering work using X-rays and crystals.
You can see underneath the plate.
That was clever.
Clever.
Really clever.
This looks the very first piece of kit that Dorothy would have kind of used to displace the images from the crystals.
Should we go and taste?
Please, yeah.
You happy? You seem to be running around last minute there.
I am happy, yeah, there's a lot to bring together. I cooked it straight on the racks because I was worried about a soggy bottom and no one wants that on a Wellington, so yeah, I'm happy that it's nice and crispy.
There's a lot going on, a lot of technique in there.
Are you pleased with the cooking of the venison?
Yeah, I think it's spot on. Yeah, I think there's a subtle flavour from the marinade. It enriches the venison, the marinade. I think it just helps it just lift that flavour a little bit.
The Wellington was marinated in Juniper Bay, orange zest, red wine. Can you taste all that?
Maybe it's not massively distinctive.
It isn't overly pronounced on the outside of the fillet, but the little accents in the rest of the dish keep providing the connection.
So the artichoke champ,
Yeah.
do you think it brings the correct texture to the dish?
Yeah, I think it's not too soft, it's not too hard, it's just a nice bit of interest underneath the faggot.
How about that artichoke champ?
For me, if it was just cooked a little bit more,
Yeah,
just a little bit
it's
softer.
fair.
Quite a lot of bite to it still, isn't
Yeah.
If you were scoring this dish,
Yeah.
what would you give it?
I think it's solid 8, I think, for this dish. With the small tweaks, I could improve it.
An 8 for me.
Yeah, I think an 8.
Thank you both very much. Why don't you take a little chill in the garden and I'm going to go find Lisa. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So much.
Main course is done.
Yes, chef.
Happy?
Yes. I'm also glad it's over.
Oh, my dear.
Hey!
Nice.
Doesn't get any easier, does it?
No.
This really is quite a tight competition, isn't it?
You know, some of them have really hit it, and some of them were just a bit disjointed for me.
I do feel that each of the chefs has put their heart on the plate. Do you know
There
what
was
I
a lot of passion in there
mean?
today.
Yeah.
It's very tough, but there's no doubt that there is 3 talented, clever cooks in there.
Yeah.
But who's going to take it?
Stuart's in the lead with 17 points, but there are only 2 points in it, with Liam and Sabrina tied on 15. Well, the pride and love you show for your region's produce and the way you're connecting to the science and innovation brief is just wonderful, so thank you.
So, Stuart, for your dish, dissected maps. The way you presented your dish on the pass It told a real story of a jigsaw, and you celebrated regional produce. The veal shin sauce was packed full of flavour. I loved the smooth beer and onion puree with the burst of acidity. I thought it really complemented the dish very well. The veal fillet for me needed more seasoning. It was cooked perfectly pink, but I wanted more caramelisation on it. Really glaze it up, pack it full of flavour. Overall, the dish was well executed, but it didn't blow me away. If you're going to do it again, you need to make it more exciting. Liam, for your dish, oh no, my dear. You had a great science connection to the brief. I loved the venison sauce. It was tasty. Your venison Wellington was cooked well, but it needed more flavour. On your 3 artichoke elements, I liked your puree. It was silky and smooth. But for me, the champ was more of a dice, and it should have been a crush. But I think, really, you should have made your own puff pastry, a butter puff flaky pastry. The faggot texture was a bit grainy. I found that the caul fat was a bit chewy. If you were to cook this dish again, my advice would be to take one of the artichoke elements off and really make everything else perfect. Sabrina, for your dish, everything goes with brown sauce. I loved your passion, and you put everything into the dish, and it showed. Hats off to you. You used so many spices, and you balanced them all. The masala sauce was amazing. It really brought the dish together. It was silky smooth and full of flavour. The kofta was glazed beautifully. It was full of flavour and moist. It really was the star of the show. I loved the acidity pops of the pomegranate that they brought through the dish. For me, the pork tenderloin lacked caramelisation. It needed more glaze. You need to sear it and get a real good caramelisation on the outside of it. But your grandmother would have been extremely proud, and well done. So, for the scores. Stuart, I'm giving you an 8.
Another well-executed, beautiful dish from you, Stuart. If you cook it again, you really need to add some extra flourish, just to up the ante.
Liam, I'm scoring you a 7.
Liam, there were some lovely things on this plate, but that Wellington really needs some love and attention. If you get through to the judges, they would definitely expect you to make your own pastry.
Sabrina, I'm scoring you a 9.
That kofta was quite possibly the best one I've ever had in my life. It was just so succulent, it was delicious. With little tweaks and refinement, this dish could do you very well in the judges' chamber. So, well done, chefs. The dessert course is next.
I love a good dessert.
Yes.
OK.
Boom.
Blimey.
It's good.
It's still super, super close.
Yeah,
super
yeah.
close.
I'm a little bit deflated. It's not a bad score by any stretch. I think there's things in my dish that maybe I should have thought about more thoroughly. The guys aren't too far ahead of me as far as scores are concerned, so I might be able to bring it back.
Scores for the main course, point above what I was thinking, so yeah, happy. It's really tight still, there's only a couple of points in it, but it's all still to play for.
Super happy with a 9. Smile on my face now, smile on my face through cooking. I think I've found my stride now. We've had an 8, we've had a 9. I'm gunning for the 10.
Liam's pre-dessert is lemon parfait, honeycomb and compressed cucumber with Dylan meringue. Like Stuart, he's taken inspiration from the Worcestershire man who created the first jigsaw puzzle back in 1766. Hey, Liam.
All right,
That's
thank you.
Fast cucumbering you're doing there.
I've had a lot of practice at cucumbering.
I can see that. Liam, what is the name of your pre-dessert and what's the inspiration?
My pre-dessert is the jigsaw. It's inspired by John Spilsbury.
The same one.
Same one.
The same dude.
I'm copying.
Stuart's palate cleanser, Ready, Steady, Go, is an ice lolly in honour of the first traffic light signal conceived by a Nottinghamshire inventor. His lemon cream and herb ice will be covered and dipped in ruby chocolate, echoing the red, amber and green lights. Well, that looks like a refreshing colour already.
Yeah.
Traffic light's one of those things you don't even think about the fact that they weren't there before. They're kind of key to our everyday life.
Yeah.
Is there anything tricky in there?
Just getting this set, but the flavours are lovely. Looking forward
Gorgeous.
to it.
Sabrina's making a plum jelly with plum and damson gin granita. She's adding a lemon verbena and plum salad. Her pre-dessert is celebrating a very special car.
It's called Sunbeam, pays tribute to John Marston of Wolverhampton and 1927 breaking the world land speed record with his car, the Sunbeam.
And how fast did it go?
It was 203.79 miles per hour.
Wow. How are you going to
isn't-
portray that?
I'm going to make it very quickly. I'm pushing on with the jelly now because I'd like that to set in time.
Lisa will blind taste the pre-desserts. They won't be scored, but in a tie-break situation, their ranking will decide who's eliminated next from the competition. Stuart puts his ice lollies in the blast chiller and waits for them to freeze.
I'm on a waiting game. See if it sets.
The clock is ticking and Sabrina needs the jelly to set in time. She weighs up her options.
So blast freezer will affect the texture of the jelly. I think it's a bit of a risk, but I'm going to go for my fridge.
Sabrina begins her own waiting game.
Saying a little prayer to the dessert gods.
What you got going on, Liam? Happy with everything?
Yeah, fine, yeah. It's quite straightforward. The flavours work.
With her jelly not setting, Sabrina decides she has only one option.
This is looking like a damson cocktail, so we're going to have to go into the blast chiller.
Stuart's ice lollies still aren't frozen either.
Mate.
Kiss it, Stuart.
I'll do more if it works. Come on. Let's see what happens, mate.
But since the pre-desserts are due at the pass,
This isn't good, is it?
Sabrina has run out of time to set her jelly. What are you going to do, Sabrina?
I actually prefer gin soup anyway.
OK, guys. So they did set, Stuart.
Just.
And how do you feel, Sabrina?
I mean, it happens, doesn't it, really?
So I'm going to take this to Chef, and we're going to have a little chat. Oh, Chef, a tray of goodies for you.
Oh,
For us. So this was supposed to be a set plum gin jelly.
Now we have a plum soup.
Quite fragrant with those herbs, isn't it?
It's nice when you get a little burst of plum in there.
Yeah.
In a different life, this could have been a jelly, but it didn't make it, so cheers.
Bombs up.
Cheers.
Still very refreshing, though.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
This one is inspired by the first traffic signal.
I quite like that. The lemon's quite rich.
Do you think the sourness of the yoghurt works?
I'm not so keen on it. Flavours I find quite confusing and I'm not too sure they really work together.
It's like the best fab I've ever eaten. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Super, super.
Well, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
It's obviously got the zing there, but it's quite rich at the same time because it's a curd. But the honeycomb, I think, really helps it as well. I quite like the bitterness of the honeycomb, yeah.
And the bitterness, yeah.
Yeah.
Cucumber's amazing. You should have made yourself one, honestly.
It's really delicious, so refreshing. Really well balanced.
What would be great now, I think, Chef, is if you could rank them.
I think the jig sauce, it's got great potential. And then Sunbeam, and then Ready, Steady, Go.
Do you think you know who made them?
I'm going to say Liam, Sabrina, Stuart.
Absolutely correct.
I know my chefs.
You know your chefs. It's super tight. Oh, it might come down to your ranking here. So Stuart, who is in the lead with 25, actually ranked lowest on the pre-dessert. Liam, who is bottom on 22 points, ranked highest, and Sabrina remained in the middle of the pack on 24. Perhaps the dessert courses are about to turn this competition on its head.
Right, these are going in the oven.
Liam's ready to pull out all the stops so he can cook for the judges again tomorrow.
I'm behind, so I'm going for it.
Liam's paying tribute to another local man from Lichfield who invented the first modern English dictionary in 1755, Sir Samuel Johnson. Look at all this
Cheers.
chocolate and deliciousness happening
That's
over
it.
here. What form is this dish going to take?
It's a layered cake. First layer, we're going to have coffee-soaked sponge. Chocolate, I'd say ganache, but Samuel Johnson didn't like the French, so it's going to be a quarter chocolate glaze.
You know he can't hear you,
I
right?
know,
Okay.
yeah. And then white chocolate mousse on top of that.
Lovely.
Another sandwich of chocolate glaze. And then some edible text and some twirls.
You look quite excited about this dish.
Busy, excited.
Busy.
And I'm nervous because I'm behind the other guys.
2 points.
Marginal.
Make
Okay.
Samuel Johnson proud, make me proud. I'm
Okay.
really looking forward to this. It sounds wonderful. Liam met lexicographer and TV presenter Susie Dent, who told him more about the Lichfield man who's inspired his dish.
Here he is, the great Samuel Johnson, slap bang in the middle of the Lichfield marketplace.
He's the father of modern dictionary making. He achieved something no one before him had achieved, but he looks quite unhappy there. He had a really tough life, and he found the dictionary actually really hard work. So to achieve something as monumental as he did is really quite special.
It took Samuel Johnson and 6 helpers over 8 years to compile the 40,000 entries in the first ever English dictionary.
The fact that you were celebrating innovation, you couldn't have chosen a better man because he was way ahead of his time. Reading to find the evidence of the words that he was describing. And he came through it all to produce a work that still has such impact today.
Let's just hope I get through to the banquet.
Good luck, I will be rooting for you.
Back in the kitchen, Liam's adding another element to his dessert. He's preparing caramel ice cream. Stuart may be in the lead, but with the scores so close, there is no margin for error.
Rocky pre-dessert, but on it today.
Like Liam, Stuart's making a layered chocolate dessert. And one of the layers will be jelly, so first he steeps Earl Grey tea in hot water and fresh lemon.
On a florally note, against the chocolate, it's nice. Well, we'll see.
His dessert takes inspiration from the British inventor responsible for adding tar to crushed stone for smooth, solid road surfaces, Edgar Hooley.
So the dish is called Radcliffe Road. It was the first tarmac road in the world in Nottingham.
Do you know, this is why I love Great British Menu.
It's an
I
education.
learn something every time. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And how are you going to get that onto a plate?
I know nothing about making roads,
Okay.
but I appreciate there's
Cooking
some
you
sort
can
of
do.
layer into it. So it's going to be a layered chocolate bar. On the bottom, there is a feuillantine and dark chocolate base.
Yep.
Then there is an Earl Grey jelly. Then there is the chocolate and nougatine mousse, and the dark chocolate glaze on top
To mimic
represent.
tarmac.
Yes.
Sounds wonderful. Quite tricky. I'm sure you can do it.
Let's go.
There was only one place for Stuart to meet with road expert Brian Kent on the world's first tarmacked road, the Radcliffe Road in Nottingham. He explained the similarities between baking a cake and building a road.
We put all our ingredients in, like our aggregates, our dust, and then we add bitumen, which is solid when it's cold, but when you heat it up, it becomes liquid. And so this is really our main ingredient. This is what binds the whole road together and actually gives it that durability. So you mix it all together, and out comes our cake. Now, we use a bigger mixer than you, and obviously it's a bigger cake,
Sure.
but we certainly can't compete in flavour.
I love the shine on it, and maybe that's exactly what I'm looking for. It can go on top of the dessert. And I think I might even take a little nod from the high-vis jacket.
I think it sounds fabulous. Wish you all the best. The whole industry will be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Back in the kitchen, Stuart makes a crispy caramelised feuilletine base,
This is coming on good. Mix it into the mould, nice and flat.
which he leaves to set in the fridge.
Right, we're in.
Next is the hazelnut nougatine, which will run through the chocolate mousse.
It will go in the blender, grind it down to a powder. I don't want just the powdery stuff. I want like a few of the caramel bits.
Stuart folds creme pâtissier and whipped cream into the chocolate to make his mousse.
Alrighty. It's the waiting game. It's on.
Okay.
Sabrina starts her final course making an eggless short crust pastry for a custard tart. She's celebrating another Midlands invention dating back to 1837.
So the inspiration is Alfred Bird, who was a Birmingham-based chemist, and his wife had an allergy to egg. So he created the first ever egg-free custard powder, which frankly I think is the most romantic thing anyone could do for
I would marry him tomorrow.
Exactly. So this dish is all about the custard powder. It will be an egg-free custard tart, the base of which is an egg-free short crust pastry, and it will be served with an egg-free custard ice cream.
I like that this sounds very modern in its implementation,
Yes.
but there's a real nostalgia to it.
100%.
I am really excited about this. I'm a custard girl all the way.
Here's hoping.
So anything that could go wrong?
I don't want to make the same mistake as I did with my jelly. It's all about letting it set whilst I finish the other elements.
Sabrina's using instant custard powder and cornstarch to make her custard ice cream.
It's all about the ice cream base now.
She's hoping double cream and cream cheese will give her ice cream richness and texture.
Bloody custard, that, mate.
It is, isn't
That
it?
isn't birds.
It is
That
birds.
is not, mate.
Sabrina put her idea of making instant custard to the test when she asked the chefs in her kitchen to try it.
Jack, what do you think?
Delicious, Chef. I love the nutmeg, I love the vanilla.
Are you getting any powdery taste in it, Chef?
No. It's really creamy, really nice.
I just like the consistency of the instant custard.
Can I finish all?
You can.
one of
You
these.
absolutely can. I think I'm really pleased with the way that's come out. We have a clear winner in our instant custard.
Back in the kitchen, Liam makes a coffee sponge, one of his dessert's layers. And his caramel ice cream is ready to be churned.
The next goal is the judges. Yeah, time to shine, I think, for me.
Next, he pours heated cream and sugar over chocolate. Butter is folded in to make a smooth glaze.
Just a touch of butter in this one.
For his white chocolate mousse, Liam first whisks eggs and sugar.
Just got to go to ribbon so it holds itself.
He then folds in white chocolate and whipped cream.
First up and 2 points behind, so I'm not exactly calm, not exactly chilled at the moment.
He checks on his caramel ice cream.
It's freezing a little bit unevenly. Just got to keep an eye on it, really.
Hello, Liam.
Hi, Chef.
How's it going?
It's all right.
So what have you got here?
A late addition to the dish, really.
A late addition?
Yeah.
I'll try that.
So I think the dish just needed that just bit of coldness. It's a layered cake. I didn't want it to become too dry.
So you're doing kind of like a layered sponge, are you?
Yeah, layered sponge, coffee, dark chocolate, white chocolate, and then coffee liqueur to really kind of give it that alcoholic boost we need.
Any zing in there?
No.
Have you
no
thought
zing
about
as
the
such.
balance?
I thought about the balance thing
Yeah.
to finish a meal like that. It's a good way to finish.
I've just tried Liam's ice cream and it was delicious. How's he going to balance it? The worry for me is the whole dish doesn't seem to have any zing.
While the dessert elements are cooling, Liam pushes on, making white chocolate twirls.
So I'm just getting them nice and thin, so they're really, really crisp.
Stuart strains the Earl Grey tea and lemon, adding gelatine to make a jelly.
Hey, Stuart, what have you got there?
So this is the Earl Grey jelly that's going to sit above the feuillantine base.
And how much are you putting in of the jelly?
It will be a distinctive layer. So you get the crunch, then the jelly, then the chocolate, and then the glaze.
You're happy with the flavour? The flavour stays the same
Yeah.
when it's cooled down?
It will
Set.
soften slightly, of course. The caramel and the hazelnut praline, there's a lot of sweetness in there. So the jelly's there to try and balance those sweet notes.
Stuart's Earl Grey tea jelly was delicious, and I love that little burst of lemon that came through. Is he going to put enough of it in? Because he needs to be able to cut that richness in the chocolate.
I think I've just put too much jelly in.
Sabrina is celebrating a famous egg-free custard powder. It was developed because the Brummie inventor's wife was allergic to eggs.
Not thick enough yet.
So, in homage to this, Sabrina is making her whole custard tart egg-free. A nice link to the brief, but will it taste good?
So, what have you got here?
I thought you might like to try my egg-free pastry, chefs. We've used the custard powder instead of the egg in the pastry, and I think it's got a nice short crunch to it. It was another opportunity to use that custard powder in the dish to make it entirely egg-free.
So you're saying you've used it in 3 elements?
Yes,
So
chef.
there's a pastry.
Custard tart filling, touch of nutmeg for that classic element.
Are you happy with the amount of nutmeg in there?
I am, yes, because it features a little bit in my ice cream.
Have you got any worries?
Really, it needs to be spot on because I'll be cutting it and then bruleeing it before serving. So it's got to be all of it or nothing.
Serena's egg-free pastry was really nice. It was really short, it was crispy, it was crunchy, and I really enjoyed it. I tried a custard too, which is egg-free. I was a bit worried about that because it has quite a high hit of nutmeg in it, and she's really got to balance that correctly.
Once everything's cooled, Liam assembles his dessert with layers of coffee syrup and coffee liqueur-soaked sponge, white chocolate mousse and chocolate glaze.
Right, so just going to drop this on top, and then we're hot to trot.
It goes back in the blast chiller one last time.
Okay.
Like Liam, Sabrina's making ice cream, which, given her disaster with her pre-dessert, she's keen to serve at the right consistency.
I'm really hoping that if I can just take this out now, I can get it in the freezer, and then we're going to be in a good position when it comes to serving.
Thank you.
Before plating, Liam slices his dessert.
All right, it's party time.
He's hoping for distinct layers.
Big reveal.
They're first onto the plate.
You got 3 minutes, Liam.
Yes, chef.
As a nod to Samuel Johnson's invention, the dictionary, the dish is decorated with fondant, rice paper and white chocolate twirls.
And what's this, edible paper?
Yeah, it's fondant that just printed onto.
Amazing.
Last on the plate is the caramel ice cream.
Yes, yeah, as soon as this ice cream goes on, it needs to go up.
Oh, wow, chef.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Come on, you. Come on, you.
And Liam's dessert, how do you spell that, is ready to serve.
Happy?
I'm very happy.
Yeah, you were running around a little bit chaotic, and you look very worried.
Worried, sweaty,
You
all
can
of the
breathe
above.
now, Liam.
Yeah.
Should we go and try?
Absolutely.
Well, I think once again the props tell the story. Do you actually like the little?
He's got a little, it's looking at me. I'm feeling very connected right now.
Is the flavour profile and the texture right that you wanted in the ice cream?
Yeah, I think the combination of sponge, ice cream, potentially being dry with the sponge layers, the ice cream was a perfect match for that.
And what do you think of the caramel ice cream? Is it cold and refreshing?
It is cold and refreshing. I wouldn't say it's...
Caramelly. It's very palate cleansing, I guess.
Is the balance of chocolate good for you?
Yeah, I think it needs to be a rich dessert. After having a pre-dessert, nice light course, and then coming into the final dessert, I think it needs to be chocolate heavy.
It's still quite sweet for me, Andy. At 3 spoons, I think I'd have to tap out there.
The texture and the soaking of the sponge is what you were wanting to achieve?
Yeah, I think there's just enough coffee going through that.
Stuart, what do you think about the sponge?
Yeah, it's not that light, quite claggy.
If you were scoring this dish, what would you give it?
I'd say 10, just because I need the points. But it's...
Let's get some scores.
I'm going to say 7.
Sabrina?
I think it would have to be a 7 from me also.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Happy?
Yeah, it's nice to finish the menu being happy, absolutely.
What else do you need, chef?
Miracle?
Stop it.
Before plating, Stuart releases his dessert from its mould.
Right, should we go for the demoulding? All or nothing. So far, so good.
And slices into portions.
You happy, Stuart?
Yeah, it's a little bit soft.
Everything's set, Stuart?
Yes.
4 minutes, Stuart.
Yes, chef.
The chocolate bar goes on his specially designed plate with a sprinkling of nougatine crumb.
Do you want to do anything, Stuart?
Just under there, mate.
Yeah.
Submit for you.
For me, am I wearing this, am I?
Yep.
Decent. The one thing I like is dressing up.
And a dessert dedicated to Edgar Hooley's creation, smooth, solid, tarmacked road surfaces, is served with a shovel to dig in.
I've never eaten off a shovel, have you, chef?
No, I
So
haven't.
that'll be a first.
shovel.
A shovel.
Just going to try?
Yes, chef. Please.
Is this road closed or is it open?
Yeah, hopefully it's open.
So is it intended we eat off the shovel?
Yeah, it's all part of the theatre. Bring it into play.
Ooh, nice crunch.
When you eat it, you're struck layer by layer, which is quite exciting, actually.
And he's done very well to get it all set, and it's not merging in between.
Are you happy with each individual layer?
I think the chocolate mousse could have set a bit better. It's still a bit soft. Not overly happy with it.
I think the mousse is it's really silky. It's set very well, and I think it does add a nice softness to the dish.
You were happy with the flavour that the jelly's bringing through? Do you think it's enough?
You get the Earl Grey. I don't think you get the lemon, which is not what I wanted. Even though it's the dark chocolate, I think it comes through.
That Earl Grey lemon tea jelly, what do you think about that?
Perfect. That lemon really comes through. It just refreshes your mouth.
Is the glaze on top as smooth as you wanted it?
Yeah, I think it's lovely and shiny. You know, it's smooth on the appearance and on the mouthfeel.
I mean, he's managed to reflect the gravelly to smooth journey really well, and I think that's sort of consistent through the dessert.
Scores then, please, Sabrina.
An 8 from me.
A solid 9.
What would you give it?
Probably an 8.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you. Hello.
How do you feel about that?
Good, yeah, nice.
Sabrina's last to the pass.
How's your tart looking?
I'm pleased so far. Just trying to make sure that it comes out without any drama.
Boom. Happy?
Yeah.
Look at that wobble.
First, Sabrina plates her garnishes.
So roasted apples, fresh raspberry gel inside.
Meanwhile, Stuart brulees the tart.
Oh, 1 second, Sabrina. The paper's on fire.
Oh, sanctified paper, excellent.
Honestly, it was not intentional, I promise.
OK, you've got a minute and a half left now.
Next on the plate, the custard tart.
Why do we always get the shakes?
Next,
in there?
custard ice cream and gold leaf are added.
OK, you're due at the pass now, Sabrina.
Yes, chef, 30 seconds.
Raspberry gel and apple sticks are the final addition.
It does make you smile, doesn't it?
Tart pointing at... There you go.
For the love of custard, I thought you were going to run out of time there.
Just in time, chef. It's a tribute to Alfred Bird and his egg-free custard.
Happy?
Oh my God, I really am. Oh God. 3 GBMs down. It's taken me 3rd time to get a dessert to the pass that hasn't ended in catastrophe.
Oh, really?
Honestly, for nothing else, that's it.
Right, I think we should just get involved, gentlemen. I think it looks very refreshing.
Yeah, the fruit's lovely. Nice little touch.
Do you think the pastry's short enough?
I think the pastry works quite nicely. I mean, I have swapped out, obviously, the egg for the custard powder mix, and I think it has a nice flavour to it.
What do you think of the pastry on the bottom, Stuart?
So you get a lovely texture, but I feel like it's more biscuity than pastry.
Is the texture of the custard what you wanted it to be?
It is, chef. It's quite rich. It's 50% double cream, 50% full-fat milk.
And what do you think of the custard tart itself?
Nice and smooth. Nutmeg's coming through well.
Are you missing the egg?
I feel like it's missing something.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to take an iconic egg custard dessert and remove one of the key ingredients.
It's going to be tough to get it on
Get it where you
point.
want it.
So you're happy with the overall flavour of the ice cream?
I am. I think it's really delicious, and it tastes very custardy.
And how about your ice cream?
Is it the custard powder that's in it?
Yeah, you get,
that floury...
Not graininess so much, but it's a bit dusty feeling of like powder taste to it.
Scores, please, gentlemen. Liam.
I think 7.
Stuart.
Yeah, I'd agree. 7.
What would you give it?
I'd give it an 8, chef.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you, chef.
Hello.
Hi, chefs.
You okay?
How are we doing?
All good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was good.
So one of us will be repping the central region. I'm very happy that I've
One
met
of
you
us is
two.
going home, though.
Very good chefs, and yeah, wish you both luck.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
And more than that, I can't wait to come and eat at your restaurants.
Desserts, we thought they were going to prove challenging. And were we right, Lisa?
For me, there was one clear standout, and I think the other two are kind of fighting it out at the bottom. At the minute, I'm still playing around with the scores in my head.
Our chefs have now done all they can. Liam is on 22, Sabrina on 24, and Stuart on 25. Guys, what an end to the competition. The storytelling has been great all week, and this course was no exception. I want to thank you all for giving so much. The tight scores reflect how competitive it's been and just how much talent there is in this kitchen.
So, Liam, for your dish, how do you spell that? I have to commend you on your nod to the brief. It really did tell a story, and those little layers of rice paper on the top were great. I loved your silky smooth caramel ice cream. It was a really good late addition. You were clever balancing the flavours. I got the chocolate and the coffee notes coming through. However, the key part of the dish was the sponge. It was lost, soft, and over-soaked. If you do this again, I suggest a jelly layer to give it some freshness. Stuart, for your dish, Radcliffe Road. What a great story to tell. The presentation was fun, and once again, you nailed it. You weren't happy with the chocolate mousse, but I actually thought it was perfect and light, and it was beautiful. I loved the Earl Grey jelly. It was a fun nod to the builders, and it added freshness and acidity. I just wanted more of it to cut through the richness of the chocolate. I really enjoyed the crunch from the fouilletine and the praline flavours, and you had a lovely, smooth chocolate glaze to finish. To take this up a level, tie in the Earl Grey flavours and do an Earl Grey and lemon sorbet. Sabrina, for your dish, for the love of cooking. You did a great job with your Alfred Bird-inspired dish. It was fun and creative to make the whole dish egg-free. And I loved the pastry. It was a clever use of the powder. For me, the custard tart was too big because you're working with such rich flavours. I found the nutmeg slightly overpowering. Unfortunately, the ice cream was too rich and it had that powdery aftertaste. It wasn't pleasant. Overall, the dish needs more refinement and you need to sort out that powdery taste. So, to the scores. Stuart, I'm giving you a 9.
I am not a chocolate dessert lover, but you completely won me over with that dish. That Earl Grey layer was so wonderful, so refreshing, a thing of beauty. Thank you.
Liam, I'm scoring you a 7.
Liam, I love the inspiration, but I felt it should be sharper, and for me there was a definite problem with that sponge.
Sabrina, I'm scoring you a 6.
Sabrina, I would heed every single word of Lisa's advice. It has potential, but there are big changes to make. So that means the 2 chefs going through to cook for the judges tomorrow are Stuart on 34 and Sabrina on 30. Sadly, with just 1 point in it, that means, Liam, you're going home. I'm so sorry. It's been fabulous having you in the kitchen.
Thank you very much.
Liam, you're a clever, creative chef. I definitely would like to see you back in this kitchen next year. Central is a fabulous region, and I'm truly honoured this week to be here tasting your food. Very best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you, chefs.
Chef. Well done. Well done. Good luck to both of you, and yeah, smash it for Central region. Yeah, it's disappointing. A few things that I didn't do right or wasn't too happy with, but I think I should have got an 8 maybe for the dessert. I'm going to hold my head high when I'm leaving, though. I think I did it well enough to do that.
Great result to going through to the judges' chamber. Busy day tomorrow, going up against Sabrina. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to come out fighting and hopefully continue with the good scores.
I think a 6 was a bit savage, actually. So need to work hard to make tomorrow excellent, to make sure I get those scores, because I want to be the one repping Central.
It's been fantastic this week. I've tasted some amazing dishes. I'll be interested to see which way it goes in the judges' chamber, because that slate is wiped clean.
Tomorrow, Sabrina and Stuart fight it out in the kitchen.
I mean, this is it, isn't it?
One last time.
Come on.
As they cook their menus for the judges.
I think the whole thing's terrible.
And a stratospheric guest.
Welcome.
Thank you.
But who'll